They tell you that man is a social animal. They tell you that you need to be connected. They tell you that if you are alone, you are missing out. They call it loneliness. They want you in the crowd. They want you distracted. They want you dependent on the approval of others for your own happiness. But in this world, dependence is weakness. When you are surrounded by noise, you cannot hear your own thoughts. When you are surrounded by people, you are forced to compromise your vision to fit their comfort zone. You are holding yourself back to accommodate the mediocrity of others. The elite know the truth. The masters of history knew the truth. True strength is not found in the validation of the crowd. True power is not found in the noise. It is found in the silence. It is found in the dark. It is found when you are entirely, completely alone. Being alone is not a weakness. It is a superpower. And today, we are going to show you why you are absolutely unstoppable when you embrace your solitude. The first thing solitude gives you is focus. The modern world is designed to steal your attention. Social media, friends with no ambition, constant notifications, they are all parasites feeding on your energy. When you are alone, the noise stops. When you are alone, there is no one to tell you to take it easy. No one to tell you to stop working. No one to distract you from your mission. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wrote in his private journal, a journal intended for no one else to read. He knew that a man should find his quiet in his own mind. The only way to manage an empire was to manage himself first. Solitude allows you to build an internal fortress. Think about it. When you are with a group of friends, how much energy do you spend navigating social dynamics? How much energy do you spend laughing at jokes you don't find funny? Or agreeing with opinions you don't believe in? That is wasted energy. When you are alone, 100% of your energy goes into your mission, your business, your fitness, your skill set. Unstoppable men are not born. They are forged in the quiet hours when everyone else is asleep. They are built when the man chooses to work on himself rather than seek validation from others. You need to become obsessed with your own potential. And you cannot become obsessed when you are worried about what everyone else is doing. Let me tell you about a man who understood this power. His name was Isaac Newton. In 1665, the Great Plague struck London. The University of Cambridge closed and everyone was terrified. People were fleeing, panicking, and looking for safety in numbers. Newton did the opposite. He returned to his family's farm in Woolsthorpe. He didn't go to party. He didn't go to seek comfort. He went to be alone. For almost 2 years, he stayed in near total isolation. While the rest of the world was busy surviving, Newton was busy rebuilding the foundation of human knowledge. In that isolation, he developed the theory of calculus. He formulated the laws of motion and universal gravitation. He began his groundbreaking work on optics. When the plague ended, Newton emerged from his solitude not just changed, but unrivaled. He didn't just beat the competition, he redefined the game. He was unstoppable because he was alone. Imagine if Newton had been surrounded by peers, complaining about the plague, wasting time in social gatherings, trying to fit in. We might have waited another century for his discoveries. Solitude was his laboratory. It was his forge. Are you using your alone time to build your calculus? Or are you using it to feel sorry for yourself? The second advantage of solitude is the building of mental fortitude. People fear being alone because when they are alone, they have to face the one person they cannot run away from, themselves. They have to face their fears, their failures, and their insecurities. The nice guy fills his alone time with mindless entertainment to drown out the voice of his own inadequacy. But you are not a nice guy. You are a man striving for mastery. When you spend time alone, you learn to become comfortable with discomfort. You learn to handle stress without needing someone to talk to about it. You learn to rely on your own judgment. Stoicism teaches us that external events cannot harm us. Only our interpretation of them can. When you are alone, you don't have anyone to complain to. You don't have anyone to blame. If something goes wrong, you fix it. If you are sad, you analyze why. If you are afraid, you act anyway. This builds a mental toughness that no amount of social interaction can replicate. It turns you into an island. Storms may rage around you, the waves may crash against you, but you remain unmoved. You become dangerous when you no longer need validation, when you no longer need to be liked. People who need to be liked can be manipulated. People who need approval can be controlled. But a man who is content in his own company, he is free, and a free man is an unstoppable man. The final superpower of solitude is the development of the CEO mindset. A leader makes decisions based on data and principles, not on popular opinion. When you are constantly surrounded by people, you are constantly subconsciously absorbing their opinions, their fears, and their limitations. Their reality becomes your reality. When you are alone, you get to define your own reality. You become the CEO of your own life. You are in control of the strategy, the execution, and the results. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are acting upon it. This is why men who are focused on building something massive, a business, a physique, a legacy, often find themselves isolated. It is not because they are lonely. It is because they have outgrown the limitations of their old environment. They have chosen a path that requires a level of commitment that the crowd cannot understand. Do not fear this isolation. Embrace it. It is the price of admission for greatness. People will call you arrogant. They will call you strange. They will ask why you aren't coming out to the bar on Friday night. Let them talk. While they are seeking temporary pleasure, you are building permanent power. Being alone is not a sentence. It is a gift. It is the time to train when others are sleeping. It is the time to study when others are partying. It is the time to build when others are destroying. Stop chasing the crowd. Start chasing your purpose. If you are alone right now, look at your hands. Look at your mind. You have everything you need to become unstoppable. The crowd will always be there, chasing the next distraction. But you are building a legacy.